Hey guys, Squeak here with a new video update for the Retrobeast 24 terabyte setup system. Chris told me that he was doing a 24 terabyte setup and revamping the whole Beast layout and everything. I begged him. I was like, dude, I said, I definitely want to be a part of this. I said, I want to be on board. I said, I want to test it, try it out. I want everything. So he was kind enough to allow me early access to everything, and here's my view of the system overall. Just to first show off what you're going to and from. Let's just say you have the 16 terabyte setup, and you got all the way to the S drive. Okay, you're good to go with that. He is not going to discontinue support on the 16 terabyte. The D drive will continue to get updates every time that an emulator gets updated and all that. That's not going away. If you got it and you invested in it, Chris is not abandoning that project. Just to save space for people that don't have computer drives, that computer cases that can hold multiple drives, this is one thing he's doing to negate, to help out people with that. Let me show you. Let's see here. On my other Beast, my remote Beast, this is my remote Beast right here. This one still has the 16 terabyte system. And as we can count, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drives. Alright. And now if we pull up my 24 terabyte setup, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, that's only one less drive, yes, but you get so much more with this new setup than what you did on the previous, as each drive is 8 terabytes larger than the originals. For instance, the D drive now goes all the way up to PlayStation 2 and below. So basically, anything from the 60s, you know, because they did have that stuff back there, but the 60s all the way up to the PlayStation 2 era, that is now all included in your D drive. Your E drive is going to have Big Fish games, going to have Xbox 360, is going to have some PC games, your PS3, your Tatooine Type X and all that. Then you got the G drive, which is what I really wanted for, is going to be the PS4. Now, the PS4 emulator is still in development. You will not have access to be able to play every game because the emulator is just not there yet. But once the emulator gets built up, I mean, look, I'm just throwing my scroll wheel down, and as you can see, it's taking a while. So, I mean, you have a full 24 terabytes of just PlayStation 4 games. As if you bought Chris's PS4 setup that he had for the modded setups back in the day, you know you will have every game on here. So once the emulator gets up to date and good to go, the games will just slowly be trickled on. So I mean, you don't actually have to get this drive right away, because you got right now, I think maybe like 30 plus games that actually boot and actually are fully playable. Again, PS4 emulation is still a ways out. We still got a couple years. I'm surprised that it's made the leaps and bounds that it's made so far with just some of the games that you can play, like Bloodborne, for example. I mean, people didn't think that was going to boot for forever, and here we are. It's playable and everything. You got your import wheel right here, which has all the imports now on it, and look, let me tell you, that's just a bunch. I mean, you can't go and get anything anywhere that's going to be anywhere close to all this. Chris has it all lined up and properly documented and everything inside his Beast. And then, okay, your PC games, which is going to be basically everything that's out there that was able to get up and running. It's on here now. I mean, I'm just going through just this part right here just to kind of show you. All right, the Switch thing. You have everything that he had in his Q, R, and S drive is now being condensed into just his Q drive. Okay, so you have over 24 terabytes worth of Switch games just on one drive instead of spread across 3 drives. So that's a big thing right there. And then with the Switch 2 coming out around the corner, I don't see too many more Switch games really getting released. So I mean, that's going to be almost, I can't say it's going to be capped out, but it's pretty much going to be capped out for a while before we see anything new getting added to it. All right, so let's get into some of the Beast interface stuff that Kriss has got set up for us, which makes things even easier because when I loaded everything in, I was like, man, there's a lot of noise. I didn't like some of the noise on it, but look, some people do love that, have the sound of the retro, like of arcade going on in the background. I love that when I go to Dave and Buster's. It's just whenever I was in here trying to play games, I was like, oh man, I gotta quiet this down. So I mean, you can come into these tabs right here, and you can turn the background music on. You can turn it up full volume, low volume, no volume. I mean, just the amount of stuff that goes on in what he's done compared to the past. Whenever I originally adopted into the Retrobeast system over 4 or 5 years ago now. I mean, he's got every time I think that he's outdone himself, Kriss has outdone himself, he's upped the game, and it's like, man, like, this is insane compared to whenever I got into it, like I said, over 4+ years ago. It's just incredible, just the layouts that he's put into this, the dedication and everything. Like I said, I myself, look, and I'll tell you this just as much as what any other reviewer will probably tell you this. You can go out and you can do all this stuff yourself. You don't have to go out and spend the big money to get it all done. I went out and did it, and this is just me personally, and you might have better luck than me, but I tried to do what Kriss has done, and I went through 2 PCs, viruses, credit cards getting scammed because I had, like an idiot, I put stuff on my computer and I gotten hacked. I went through a nightmare. So when I found Kriss, 4 or 5 years ago, and I watched him just to make sure, because I was like, okay, I was skeptical at first. I was like, this can't be real. 16 terabyte drives. The biggest I only saw at the time were 8. And then whenever I saw that he went all the way up to, at the time, was like 72, I was like, nah, this can't be the real deal. But tried and true, he was the real deal from day one. Set up now compared to what it was back whenever I originally adopted to it, was okay. It was a nightmare for basically anybody that didn't have any kind of computer knowledge. It would take a day to almost 3 days to get everything to work correctly. Now with the way Kriss got everything set up, you get your D drive, you get everything. You come in here, you'll set your drives to the correct letters that he's got them named. You set them all that in Device Manager. Then you'll go into the D drive. You'll come in here to Wiki. You'll go to the one-click, and then you just hit the shortcut, one-click install, and just follow the prompts. It's very simple. Like, this might take you maybe 10-15 minutes at the max, depending on the security that you have set up on your PC. You'll have to disable some security things just to let, exceptions for like all your drives to go through, because Windows will false flag them as a virus. Like I said, it's tremendous the work that he's got on this, okay? And then, like I said, I wanted version 1 of this. Once he told me it was good to go, I was like, all right, ship it to me. Let's go. Let's do this. He was like, all right. I said, I just need help just testing to make sure that it's going to be good on the receiving end. So I went through I went through every game, y'all. I'm telling you, like, I came in here, I did this. I went into the setup right here, and just everything that's in here, every wheel. I'm not going to say I played every game on every wheel, because let's be honest, you wouldn't have seen this video until maybe 2072. But I went into every game wheel right here, and I played 2 to 10 games in each, because actually I lost track of time, and it was like I'd get lost in some games and it was like, oh man, I've been in this wheel for a while. And I went into everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. And everything just worked, with the exception of a few wheels. And that was the whole point of the whole going in and trying it on a different setup. Kriss wanted feedback. I gave him feedback. There was a couple wheels that just would not work for me whatsoever. I reported it to Kriss. That's the beauty of his Discord and everything. I reported it to him. He went and he looked on it on his side. He was like, oh, okay, this isn't working. Here, try this. He gave me the files to fix it. bam, everything was up and running. So guess what? Whenever pre-orders for the 24 TB go live and he starts sending it out, you will have the fixes that I had in here that were going wrong for me. Like I said, just scrolling through everything, testing it all out for him. It was a chore. I mean, I won't lie to you, it was a chore, but I love the new layout, how he's got everything like this, and it kind of overwhelmed me at first. But what I did love about this was how we have a favorites wheel, and once you go through this system, once you know all you got to do is find what you want the first time, and then just press select on it, put it to your favorites, and then you can go back to your favorites wheel at any time and just find that. And then the same thing, like once you go into your favorites wheel, you go to just go to one of your one of your wheels, and then the same thing right here. You got 204 games. Well, if you don't want to scroll through all of it, you come right here and you do oh, I think I pushed the wrong button, but okay. But you can favorite your games and everything. That way you're not scrolling through for forever just trying to find one game. The first time you find it, as soon as you find it, if you want to do like I did, just save it to favorites, all right? And then you're good to go from there on out. And like I said, I mean, I've been an adopter from Kriss, not from the beginning, because like I said, I wanted to make sure he was the real deal. So I watched over his Discord page and just made sure that this wasn't somebody I was getting scammed by, because, like I said, at the time, the biggest systems out that anybody had was only 8 terabytes. And when I saw 16, and then when I really investigated and saw he was at 72 at the time, I was like, this can't be real. Look, it's been real, and it's been great. It's the best go-to that you can do. And like I said, you can go through and try to get all this yourself and go, try to put it on and set it all up yourself. Like I said, I did it. It didn't work out for me. 2 PCs and a lot of money lost in time. It was just easier just to have everything all in one setup. Again, there's a lot more smarter people than me. Kriss is one of them, as you can see, since he's been able to acquire all this stuff and get it all set up for you. But this was just, like I said, my honest review of everything. Every time I see, like again, every time that I don't think this system can get set up any easier, Kriss just comes back and is like, hey, look, I want to do this. I mean, he's done set up light guns. He's did fight boxes, pinball. He's done, PC games, up to date, almost latest releases and everything. I mean, it's just insane, just the amount of work that he puts into this. Like, he believes it. Our Discord page, I'm on there along with the other pros, and well, we say pros, tech helpers, tech supports, just people that are just dedicated to helping everybody. I mean, we have an awesome group that you can just go through and say, hey, I had this trouble, and we have people from one end of the world to the other. So almost at any time, you're really not waiting too long for an answer. If somebody's online, more than likely they're going to see that there's an issue. Okay, well, let's hop on and see if we can get it taken care of. You're not going to get that type of support anywhere else, as far as that. I mean, you will. It varies on who you get. And then with the setup and everything, Kriss does updates every 2 months. They're free updates that'll just keep everything up to date and emulated. It's a perfect drive setup. And like I said, there's a Patreon if you want to support him. You could do that. I do that because, like I said, just for the amount of work that he does to this, it's worth it to me. But if you have the 16 terabyte version of his setup and you want the 24 terabyte version, like I said, you really don't need to upgrade unless you wanted like the PlayStation 4 stuff added to it. So I wanted it. I'm a big collector. I want to make sure I have everything, and also I wanted the hard drive space back in my computer. So that's the route I went. Again, everybody's going to be different, so again, just if you have any issues, you can come. As you can see right here, we got our Discord page, and just anybody that pops a question up here, like you know, you have helpers from all over the world that they're just dedicated, and they've shown their love for the beast, and just the amount of people that are in there that are helping, whether they are tech helpers or they just know their way around a computer, is just awesome. I mean, we have a great group in here, and so I mean that's about all I can really say. I mean, like I said, it's there. Whatever negatives you can find about the beast, and look, there are going to be people that can tell you this left and right, do it yourself, or this don't work, this don't work. Anything that you say that doesn't work, I guarantee you we can help you get it to work. You just got to give us a second, because every computer is different. Nobody's computer setup is going to be the same. I've done going on in hand over fist trying to help people. We've got myself, Chris. We have a new guy right here, Lit. He is awesome. He's made videos on top of my videos, which I did on top of Chris's videos, trying to simplify and explain everything on how just to set everything up. So like I said, I mean, you can't go nowhere else and find the amount of support and the amount of games and just everything all here. I mean, I'll show y'all this again, because this is just, if you have a controller, you know, it can be played on the beast. I mean, I got my Xbox controllers, I have my retro shooter light guns, I got Xbox 360 controllers, I got my Nintendo 64 controllers, you know, I got my PlayStation, my Xbox. I mean, just anything. If it hooks up to a PC, it can be ran on the beast, and you can use whatever controller you'd want to use. Everything is, you know, everything is, the big buzzword is plug and play. There is plug and play. You can do it, but you do have to do the whole one-click install just to make sure that your PC is optimized. So, with that being said, that's my full and honest review. You know, there was a couple things that didn't work right off the back, but like I said, as soon as I told Chris about it, he got on it, which he does every time he hears something negative about his setup, and he gets the fix going to where it is working pristine. So, with that being said, I hope this might have helped y'all. I know this is a long video. If you need anything else, just reach out to us on Discord, and we'll be more than happy to help you. Alright, thank you. Game on, and y'all have a great new year. Bye.